clear. Let's begin seated, connecting to our Ujjayi breath. And feeling that breath starts to push on and move and nudge all of these membranes and lung sacs and vessels. So we're getting this quite substantial tissue movement by our choice. All of that air and pressure in tissue now moves the bones. The bones are lifting and being suspended in this and riding this kind of gelatinous, fluid, collagenous undulation. So I'm suggesting feel your breath from the fluid and the collagenous and the material, then as different from feeling your body from the fixed hardness material. Even those trapezius have a fluid, undulating quality when we follow with breath. And position the head adequately back enough over the pelvis so that you can feel that breath wave in the upper back. Let's cross right over left shoelace. Ensure the knee feels right in its position. We'll begin with the rounds of Kapalabhati. So short, sharp exhalations. Again, bring the back of the skull over the back of the sacrum. Short, sharp exhalations. Continue. We'll do about 20 or 30 more. There's a kind of a rebounding of fluid back and up. A low belly occurs toward the back of the body. Fluidly, breath moves, reaches up. Feel if you can reach this dome, another rebounding area for fluid. Remember the phrase here in Kapalabhati is skull shining, not low belly shining, right? Then we'll pause right there. And we'll do a round of Uddiyana. Okay, now Uddiyana will help us kind of work and feel all the way down to the pelvic and low back area. So inhale, pressing down with the fingertips. Retain your breath lightly. Just the way a jellyfish retains water. The jellyfish doesn't squeeze it or capture it. It's just watered. Bring the hands forward. Swift, thorough exhale. With a low belly. Stay empty. Chin near sternum. Draw belly in and back. And use your hands soft. Drawing, pooling. Feel the whole entire core. Elongate. Release when you need to breathe. Switch the cross of your legs. So what of these really fascinating processes? I mean, it occurs everywhere all the time, but I'm going to give you a little slideshow for the second half of our pranayama. To me, this feels quite, to me, it informs the pranayama. I think I like this one. Here we go. I'm going to show this camera. All right, old school slide share. All right, this is us. Maybe somewhere within 3 weeks. That's you, that's me. All right. So we're taking in this fluid nourishment right in from the front of us. And this fluid, almost like a T crossing, kind of rebounds to the top of the head and the bottom. So right now it's just kind of pushing and making path, but as we start to get more of our little tadpole head, that fluid, boom, will start to not just push into the structure, but rebound and shape now the curve of the head and shape now the lower parts of our torso. So the fluid just by nature of it occurring on these surfaces informs, like starts to form the structure. So we're going to do this Kapalabhati, skull shining. And just feel how the breath rebounds or where it reaches. When it starts to push and start to create that curve and that fluid now has a course of coming back around. There's that amnion, there's that skull shape, there's the brain now taking shape, the nerve, head, brain. So the movement of fluid is in part helping to determine the shape and even the function of our structure. So how we move our mind, our breath, has ramifications. So let's do Kapalabhati. Do another several pumps. The low belly is the engine. It's helpful to take in from that yolk sac area. And just follow, track, distribute breath right up to the skull. Find out what you get. Begin if you haven't. Does breath contact the back of the body? Does breath contact the back of the skull, the top of the skull? It's okay if the answer is no. But we did do it before, and you did it before. Can tell you did. You have a head on your shoulders. Good, let's pause there. Now that round of Uddiyana, use your fingertips if you love to as you press down. Inhale. And then pausing, holding, light hold. Way a jellyfish holds water, suspends in water. My body suspends in breath. All right, let's fold forward. Bring the hands down. Swift, thorough exhale. Bring the chin toward the sternum. And as you're drawing the belly in, also drawing from the perineum. So tail, perineum. And there's a draw toward the right up the front of the body, from the front to the back of the body, from the tail to the head of the body. And simply release when you need to breathe. The more and more I look in both these directions, what were some of these spiritual practices, these very subtle or even quote unquote advanced spiritual practices, they seem to reflect a lot and mirror a lot of these processes that were formative. Interesting. Let's lie on our back. Grab your roll and do a lying spinal twist with an object. It can be the roll, it can be the block. And get a little grab of it between my knees. And then I'll turn over onto a side. I'm on my left side. I've got the roll between my bent knees. Turned onto my left side. Now, because I'm connecting my right knee to my left knee with squeeze, there's not going to be a whole lot of movement in the sacrum, less movement in the low back than usual. So the reach of my right arm might not feel as reachy. And that's perfectly fine. This is a nice way to put a little less movement through the sacrum when we're twisting. Letting each deep breath move the ribs, the armpit. One of these main pathways off the aorta is right into the shoulder and the arm limbs. So this is big blood territory, this armpit to arm. Big blood area. Okay, let's release the right arm. And we'll switch to the other side. So lying spinal twist with an object between bent knees. So now I'll turn to the right side. I'm still just soft pinching something between the knees. Okay. Now, if you have really specific sacral things you're working with, you can get kind of clever with this roll pinch. If you need to nudge one kneecap ahead of the other, or one kneecap behind, you can kind of subtly position and adjust your sacrum so it's maximally helpful. And then when we reach this left arm, we're going to focus our breath into the armpit. We're very, very close to heart territory, big blood territory. So you can actively reach, you can passively reach, but softening, preparing all of this territory around where blood flows. And when we release, inhale, we'll roll back to our back, lose the prop. Frog. Separate the legs widely, knees still bent. Inhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up off the ground. So there's that back side of body expanding, curving round. That brain and that tail. Exhale, the tail shifts toward the sky. The brain shifts toward the sky. Outreach through the legs. Sink the belly in. So here's that old-timey yoke sack move, right? Inhale. Bring the breath all the way to the back of the body, the spine, the back of the solar plexus, the low back. Let it keep floating the head up off the ground. Exhale, the tailbone shifts, legs outreach. All the limbs reaching into the space. Sink the belly in and down. Inhale. Drawing breath right into the back of the body. Exhale. The tailbone shifts. The backside softens, lengthens, legs outreach, sink the belly in and down. All right, continue. You do. I'll watch you. So this fluid, this nourishment that comes in from the front side, goes to where the back side of the body is forming, thus expanding and thus kind of curving, folding. Our backside is starting to fold around toward our front side. So we're absorbing something from the front side. The back side expands, folds as if to envelop that which is incoming. It's a process we'll see again and again and again and again in every stage, in every way, in all the cells. This kind of folding envelopment, and also this envelopment and unfolding. You can really feel and study that expanding backside, that head to tail, like it's unfolding around this space in front of us. Okay. And so after you've done some of those, we'll call that some. Let's grab the roll again. We'll use it. Place it between legs. Reach the legs up. This isn't a geometry that looks very curvy, but you can certainly sense how the backside becomes like a dish, starting to fold around this space in front of our now eyes and abdomen. Inhale into the low belly and low back. You can bring it front to back. Squeeze object. Exhale, float. Here goes the head, shoulders. Here goes the tailbone and the leg limbs. Reaching up. Sink the belly in and down. Inhale. Letting the tail and the head unfurl. Exhale. The head and the tail just dish, lift away from the ground. Subtly expanding the backside. Sinking the belly. So you're feeling from front side to back side. For some of us, that feeling is clear. For some of us, it's might be fuzzy. Let's do some more. I'll talk through one more. Inhale. Allow head, allow tail to relax down. It's okay to have a rest. Relish it. Lengthening that inhale. Squeeze the object. And exhaling. Growing the legs long from the back of the solar plexus. Reaching the elbows, lifting the head, growing the backside long from solar plexus to head. Right, you do about 3 more, just practices. It's not only an early process, it's a repeated process. Repeated process of how we ingest, how we bring something into the cell or to the And that's plenty good. Those few are great. I hope these feel patient to you. They feel patient. Remove the roll. Let's turn to a side. Let's set up dolphin. We'll be working a portion of dorsal fin. So we'll work the leg portion first. And then if you have the desire, the shoulder stability to work with the upper body part, we can certainly do that. Okay. So if you're going to be picking up any arm limbs from the ground, better to have set them up in dolphin in parallel. Okay, press the arms along the ground to broaden the upper back, the tops of the shoulder blades, that width, very wide. Exhale the knees off the ground. Now inhale, we'll start with the right foot, drawing the heel toward the buttock, but also raising and reaching that right thigh back. Okay. I'll describe it again, just stay with, I'm gonna watch. Sometimes this little move gets translated interestingly. Yep, so we've drawn the right heel toward the buttock. And then there's another little step here. Keep elevating and reaching out through the thigh. Okay. So you might feel a little stretch on the right quad. Maybe your hamstring has not been curled up like this in a while. Now, if you wanted to play with arm, you could start to take left hand away from ground. And then you could reach for the right ankle. Sometimes just weight shifting and breathing is a good pose move. There you go. Nice. Resist the urge to swing the leg up. That's where we get that kind of low back slap, like spring. Just be really non-momentous about that leg movement. All right, let's set that left foot down. We'll straighten out the right leg and place the right foot down. Let's switch sides. We'll pick the left foot off the ground, drawing the left heel toward the buttock. I'll do this move with no momentum, elevating that left thigh and reaching that leg, that left thigh out. There you go. There you go. That's great. Deep breath into low back. Optional is weight shifting. So your weight will shift into left arm as you lift or lighten the right. And then you'll decide if that hand wants to just be on ground or reach for foot. Chest faces the toes, the back of the mat. So this isn't really a spiraling move. I'm not trying to spiral or twist or turn to reach the foot. Using the foot to lift my arm and lift me off that left shoulder. There you go. Now we'll release. Set the hand down, straighten out that leg, place the foot down. Set the knees down. Inhale, slide the hands under the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, let's step the right foot forward, warrior two. I want you to adjust the right foot angle so that you can feel the longest, sweetest length of your low back without having to retch on any butt muscles to do so. So tucking without muscularly tucking. So if I turn my foot out, I have to use like so much butt to make anything move. But if I simply turn my foot in, I can lengthen the low back with much more ease. I don't have to cut the circulation off from the bottom of my pelvis to do so. Inhale, reach the right arm up, the left hand toward the thigh, reverse warrior. And exhale. As the right arm reaches, the right ribs carry along with the arm. Using your deep Ujjayi breath, distributing, sensing that motion, that movement of breath to the upper body and to the lower body. Same time. And inhale, bring this right arm up, over, straighten the right leg. So now if you had some unique foot configuration, we'll change it up a bit for triangle. Right foot now face forward, left foot turned in. Now taking all of that wonderful openness and length of the right side and just translating it out over our mat, which is our right. And simply place that hand down. Exhale, lift the left arm up. Reach. And reach back. So I get that just right angle in the left foot. I gotta sink through that left heel. My buttock gets involved. This is nice. The buttock gets involved. It can help secure a position for the bones, help make stable. Which allows me to inhale and grow my torso forward. All right, quarter moon. Inhaling, lower the left hand, bend the right knee, set the right hand down. And first move is when we exhale, just draw the left heel toward the buttock. As maybe this is your pose. Heel to buttock, reaching the thigh away from the head. If you're inclined to want to grab the ankle, you can. And some of you may get just plenty of benefit. You don't have to squeeze up or compress anything. Just so with and without the grab are both really great poses. Sometimes I grab the ankle, I feel a little more compression somewhere that I don't care for. There you go. Sometimes the foot grab really helps me expand through the top of the sternum and the bottom of the neck. We release. Inhale, let the left foot go. Set the left foot down. We'll set it back into warrior. For interlock. And now exhale, bringing the right arm, armpit, next to the thigh. Left arm behind back. And there's some hands. Hopefully they're yours. The tendency is to bunch down over the guts or the solar plexus. Inhale, expand. Suffusing your breath into those denser and more impacted places. I release. Inhale, we'll set the left knee down. Padding adequate, please. Heeled butt lunge. Left hand, grab left foot. Shift adequately forward so your thigh meat is supporting you. Release. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale, let's step back and lower. Belly to earth. Cobra. Shift. Tail toward the earth. You can do this with maximum butt involvement. It's interesting. You could do it with the least amount necessary to produce that lengthening in the spine. Also interesting. Inhale into the low belly, feeling how the breath kind of grows and softens and lengthens the low back as you lift and draw the chest forward. Exhale, lower, hands under chest, downward dog. All right, let's do it on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. So warrior two stance. We're preparing for reverse warrior. And I want you to position your front foot So you can feel you're getting a sweet, discernible degree of lengthening without having to clench or over clench your buttock muscles. A lot of that could be foot position, how the foot behaves and turns the earth or draws the earth. There you go. Now inhale, take the left arm up, the right hand to thigh. As the left arm reaches, take with it the ribs. Exhale. As you continue to reach, keeping that foot contacting the earth, so that left butt cheek keeps giving to gravity, and that left side of waist keeps softening toward the earth. Reverse warrior. Now, can you breathe into the low back where that left hip bone is? You can be quite precise here. Most of us are pretty good at making the belly side, the front of our body, move when we breathe. And we can practice it, remember it, as breathing nourishes and creates the backside of the body. It forms the backside of the body. Inhale, bring that left arm and trunk upright. And here we'll adjust for triangles, straightening the left leg, adjusting that left foot position, turning that right foot in. Now as you exhale, all of that cellularly remembered length through that left side, take all that wonderful left side length and send it toward that left finger. Reach, 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 there it is. And we'll draw that right arm up to lift, augmenting the space between the lungs and the armpits. Breath confirms that augmentation of space around the heart and the ribs. Don't believe me? Check it. Because what you might feel is a great voluminous kind of equatorial breath around the mid-ribs, and it might feel like a bottleneck to you up by the armpit. Your perception matters to how you'll move your mind, move your breath, and form the paths of your perception. Quarter moon. Let's bend the left foot up, knee. Inhaling, bringing the left hand down to the ground. The right foot up about hip height. And start by exhaling, bending the right knee, just drawing that right heel toward the butt and reaching with the right arm. The reach of the right arm will free up that neck, and then you can decide if you want to connect hand plus ankle. Inhale, let go of the ankle, set the foot down. There's an interlock here for us. So get that strong reach through that back leg, and then that chest opening move of reaching the hands away from the head and toward the back of the body. There they can connect. Release hands for heel to butt lunge. Inhale, let's bring the hands down, the right knee down. Making sure the right knee feels awesome on its surface. Exhaling the right heel toward the buttock. And release. Inhale, let that foot down, hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Reaching back through the legs. Letting the tailbone shift down so the low back lengthens. Inhale, supplying even more breath from abdomen to low back. As you draw the mid-spine away from the low spine. And keep working that curve and that articulation up the upper back. Exhale, lower downward dog. All right, let's step feet forward. Just rest by standing. Oh my gosh. You can go a little over. Teeny bit over. I'm going to show you this move with a wall. So part one of it is the rolls between my knees and my back's along the wall. So I'm just creating a little squeeze, a little inner leg to allow my tail to lengthen away from my head. And I like that image a lot more than just trying to like pull or stretch or flatten the spine. I think the images do matter to how we find these qualities in our body and how we create them and how we walk our way to their discovery. So we're going to be right here for the first just a few breaths. So if you grab your roll, this little bit of wall, I'll briefly talk us in. This is just getting us set up for one upside down move. So put the roll right between the knees and just slide the butt, the back, down the wall. So at this point in our lives, most of us have some curves in our spine. As you tweeze that object with your knees, inhale, feel your breath go to the back of the body. And the tail grows down, the skull, the neck grow toward the sky. And just feel how the backside of the body responds. Reaching the arms up is a theoretical bonus. And after just 3 or 4 breaths to the backside of the body and feeling how your tail, your backside, your head respond, just simply press, just be away from the wall for a moment. And we'll work the star chakra forearm balance. And I'll show you 2 ways you can play with it. So if you're kicking up or toward the wall, I'll say toward the wall, you have to select your distance just right. I think I'm about almost 2 feet. So I let my one foot just kind of rest back as I draw thigh to chest. And then if I have the right amount of space, I can tippy toe my heel toward my buttock. Okay, to exit, walk the legs straight. You'll do both sides. Now let's say that's a little bit much for your environment. So here's a version. I go dolphin at the wall, heel to butt, and then I reach the thigh out, out, out. All right, both sides. Give one of those a try. There's 2 sides to the pose. I'm going to watch and see what you all decide to do. And once I'm up there, there's 3 limbs. There's a leg limb, there's a tail limb, there's a leg limb. Leg, tail, leg. There's 3 limbs up there to guide and navigate. Use all 3 limbs. We had a tail. It just receded back. We kind of grew into it. It receded. It became more absorbed into the shape of our torso. But we had a tail. That tail's a limb. There's 3 limbs up there. There you go. That's it. All right. If you're still working, just keep working. I'm just going to be the conveyor belt. So if you are through, we'll have a seat in knee pile. So again, this is right over left knee pile. Inhale, let's reach the arms up. And with the arms, the ribs. As the ribs grow up, the low back lengthens up. Exhale, the left elbow over the right. Left elbow over, atop, right. You can elevate the elbows, and you can rest the forehead in the forearms. So I wouldn't call this a folding practice, but we certainly were kind of walking ourselves through the fluid, the breath, the mind motions of the folding, those first stages of unfoldment, the way that we may have done it at a cellular level, an embryonic level, primal level. Intaking, distributing head to tail, or end to end, and starting to envelop the folding of those ends around. Right. Inhale, let's unwind. Head from the tail, the elbows from each other, the knees from each other. And let's check out the other side. So legs left over right, elbows have chosen to go right over left. And in many ways, this reflection on early processes should be like the development of what will be our spine, our nervous system, our backside, our amniotic fluid, our brain. Boy, that's a lot. But the reflection on this process is really a perfect antidote to when our attention and our mind is out in front of us, out there, up in that, forward. This is such an antidote, such a remedy movement. Brings us back into ourselves, informs ourselves. Let's unwind from the arms, the legs. Let's make sure we have some shavasana right now. Please unwind arms, limbs, lie back. And we'll just practice this very simple movement. It's the movement of mind woven to the movement of breath, which confirms in a feeling way our embodiment in our person. So my intention, mind movement, inhale, go in. And for today, let's just go in from the front. Go all the way to the back of the body. And allow that entire back of body to be breath fed, breath contacted, skull to tail, and exhaling. Allow there to be the receding from the head and the tail. Exiting out the front. We could work the muscle of our subtle body any way we want. I'm just choosing this one pathway, template, pathway for today. In through the front, all the way to the back. The whole back, letting the breath rebound or retreat from the head, the tail, how the fluids move, shape our circulation, our structure. So do I continue to feed the circulation that exits my body and leaves me undernourished? The things out there, the things over there, the that to do over there. Do I have robust pathways that always take me to the center and the core of my formation, my becoming form? And my becoming formless. Discovering our formlessness is not the same as leaving or abandoning our form. Embody, become a healthy, shiny, beautiful form. And from this perspective, we always have an ocean view. Vast ocean view. All right. And you're welcome to remain right where you are if you just want to continue with this meditation, the Shavasana. If you want to move, bend knees, turn to a side, and press up. Namaste.